troubles packed up in my suitcase, and they're getting heavier every day. The rain keeps falling on my weary shoulders. Rain keeps falling on my weary shoulders.
You ever noticed how nobody actually teaches you the real rules of life? Like, we spend years in school learning algebra and memorizing dates from history, but nobody sits you down and says, hey, by the way, here's how things actually work when you step outside. And I'm not talking about the motivational poster stuff either, like follow your dreams or be yourself. I mean the actual unspoken rules. The ones everyone seems to know, except nobody told you. So I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Because the older I get, the more I realize there's this whole secret handbook to life that nobody hands out. It's like everyone around you got the memo, and you're just figuring it out as you go. And honestly, some of these rules are kind of brutal when you first learn them. But once you get them, everything starts making a lot more sense. So today I want to talk about some of these unspoken rules, the stuff people don't say out loud, but everyone kind of knows. And I'm curious, how many of these have you already figured out? Or are you still in that phase where you're like, wait, that's how it works? Let's get into it. Okay, first one. And this is a big one. Nobody is thinking about you as much as you think they are. I know, that sounds kind of harsh at first, but hear me out. It's actually freeing when you really understand it. Like, think about the last time you did something embarrassing. Maybe you tripped in public, or said something awkward in a conversation, or posted something online that didn't land the way you wanted. You probably replayed that moment in your head like 1,000,000 times, right? Cringing every time. But here's the thing. Nobody is thinking about it. Because they're too busy thinking about their own embarrassing moments, their own problems, their own lives. We all walk around thinking we're the main character, and we are, but only in our own story. In everyone else's story, we're just a side character, a cameo, maybe even just background noise. And once you realize that, it's like this weight lifts off your shoulders. Because suddenly you're not so scared of what people think of you. You stop overthinking every little thing you do. You just live. So yeah, rule number 1. Stop worrying so much about what people think of you. Because chances are, they're not thinking about you at all. And that's not a bad thing. It's freedom. All right, next one. And this is one that sounds obvious, but we forget it all the time. Like, think about the people you love being around. Your favorite friends, family members, coworkers, whoever. What is it about them that makes you want to spend time with them? Is it because they always say the perfect thing? Or is it because when you're with them, you feel good? You feel heard, you feel valued, you feel like yourself. On the flip side, think about the people you avoid, the ones who drain your energy. Again, it's probably not about what they're saying, it's about how they make you feel. Maybe they're always negative, or they one-up every story you tell, or they just don't seem to care about what you're going through. And here's where it gets interesting. You are also that person to someone else. You're either the person they love being around or the person they're trying to avoid. And it all comes down to how you make them feel. So if you want to get better at relationships, whether it's friendships, romantic stuff, work, whatever, focus less on saying the right thing and more on making people feel respected, appreciated, and comfortable around you. Because at the end of the day, people don't care if you're the smartest person in the room. They care if you're the kind of person who makes them feel like they matter. Here's another one that nobody tells you until you learn it the hard way. Your energy is limited. And I'm not just talking about physical energy, I'm talking about mental and emotional energy too. You only have so much to give in a day. So the question is, where are you spending it? Because here's what happens. You wake up and you've got a full tank. Then you check your phone and suddenly you're doom scrolling through bad news and arguments in the comments section. Tank's already down to 75%. Then you get to work or school and you're dealing with people who stress you out, or tasks that feel pointless, or just life. By lunchtime, you're at 50%. And then by the end of the day, you're running on fumes. And you wonder why you don't have the energy to do the things you actually want to do. The hobbies, the creative stuff, the quality time with people you care about. It's because you spent all your energy on things that didn't deserve it. And I'm guilty of this too. We all are. But the unspoken rule here is you have to protect your energy like it's the most valuable thing you own. Because it is. That means saying no to things that drain you. It means setting boundaries with people who take more than they give. It means being intentional about where you focus your attention. And yeah, sometimes that feels selfish, but it's not. Because if you're constantly running on empty, you can't show up for the people and things that actually matter. So ask yourself, where is your energy going? And is it worth it?
Okay, this next one is tough, but it's important. Life isn't fair, and it never will be. Some people are born into wealth. Some people are born into struggle. Some people get lucky breaks. Some people work twice as hard and still don't get ahead. And yeah, that sucks. It's frustrating, it's unfair. But here's the unspoken rule. You can't let that stop you. Because if you spend all your time being bitter about how unfair life is, you're just stuck. You're giving away your power to something you can't control. And I'm not saying you should ignore injustice or pretend everything's fine. But at some point, you have to shift your focus from what you can't control to what you can. You can't control where you started, but you can control what you do next. You can't control other people's advantages, but you can control your own effort, your own mindset, your own choices. And honestly, some of the most inspiring people I've ever heard about are the ones who had every reason to give up, but didn't. Not because life suddenly became fair, but because they refused to let unfairness define them. So yeah, life isn't fair, but the fairness isn't the point. The point is what you do with the hand you're dealt. All right, here's a big one, and this is something I wish someone had told me earlier. You don't have to have it all figured out. Like, society really makes you feel like you should, right? By a certain age, you're supposed to know what you want to do with your life. You're supposed to have a career path, a 5-year plan, a clear direction. And if you don't, you feel like you're falling behind, like you're failing. But here's the truth. Most people don't have it figured out. Not really. Even the people who look like they do, they're probably just winging it too. They're just better at pretending. Because life doesn't work like a straight line. It's messy, it's unpredictable. You think you want one thing and then you try it and realize, oh, actually, this isn't for me. And that's okay. The unspoken rule here is it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to take a detour. It's okay to not know what's next. Because the truth is, figuring out life is a process. And it's not something you do once and you're done. You're constantly learning, constantly adjusting, constantly evolving. So if you're in that place where you feel lost or uncertain, you're not alone and you're not behind. You're just in the middle of the process. And that's exactly where you're supposed to be. Here's another one that people don't talk about enough. Consistency beats talent. Every time. And I know that sounds cliche, but stick with me. Because we live in this world where we glorify the naturally gifted, the prodigies, the people who make it look easy. But the reality is, most success doesn't come from talent. It comes from showing up, over and over again. Even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when you're not seeing results yet. Think about it. You probably know someone who's insanely talented, but never really does anything with it. And you probably also know someone who's just okay, but they work so hard that they end up surpassing everyone. That's consistency. And here's the thing, consistency is a choice, talent isn't. You can't control how much natural ability you have, but you can control whether you show up and do the work. So if there's something you want to get better at, whether it's a skill, a career, a relationship, whatever, the unspoken rule is just keep showing up, even when it feels like you're not making progress. Because you are. You're just building momentum. And one day it's all going to click. Okay, next one. And this is something I didn't understand until recently. Your time is more valuable than your money. Because here's the thing, you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. And yet we spend so much of our lives trading time for money, working jobs we don't like, doing things that don't fulfill us, all because we think, I need the money. And yeah, obviously money's important. You need it to survive. But there's a point where you have to ask yourself, what am I sacrificing for this money? Are you missing out on time with your family? Time to work on your passions? Time to just rest and enjoy life? Because the unspoken rule here is you can't get that time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. So yeah, make money, but don't let it become the only thing. Don't sacrifice your life for a paycheck. Because at the end of your life, you're not going to wish you worked more. You're going to wish you lived more. This one's hard to hear, but it's true. You're allowed to outgrow people. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I just mean people change. You change. And sometimes the people who were perfect for one chapter of your life don't fit into the next chapter. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you have to hate them or that the friendship was a waste. It just means you're moving in different directions now. But we don't talk about this enough because there's so much pressure to hold on to friendships forever. Like we've been friends since high school, so we have to stay close. But the truth is, some relationships have an expiration date, and trying to force it just makes everyone miserable. So the unspoken rule here is it's okay to let people go. Not out of anger or resentment, but just out of growth. You can appreciate what they meant to you and still move on. Because holding on to relationships that don't serve you anymore is just weighing you down. And you deserve to surround yourself with people who lift you up, who challenge you, who make you feel like the best version of yourself. All right, this one sounds harsh, but it's one of the most important. No one's coming to save you. And I don't mean that in a depressing way. I mean it in an empowering way. Because here's what happens. We spend a lot of our lives waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to notice us, waiting for life to just work out. But the truth is, if you want something to change, you have to change it. No one else is going to do it for you. Your dream job isn't going to fall into your lap. Your ideal relationship isn't going to knock on your door. Your problems aren't going to solve themselves. You have to take action. You have to take responsibility. You have to be your own hero. And yeah, that's scary, but it's also freeing because it means you're in control. You're not waiting on anyone else. You're not relying on luck or fate or someone else's decision. It's all on you. And honestly, that's kind of amazing. Last one. And this might seem like it contradicts the last rule, but hear me out. It's okay to ask for help. Because even though no one's coming to save you, that doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. There's this weird stigma around asking for help, like it makes you weak or like you're failing. But that's not true. Asking for help is actually one of the smartest, strongest things you can do. Because no one gets anywhere by themselves. Every successful person you admire, they had help. They had mentors, friends, family, people who believed in them and supported them. So if you're struggling, reach out. If you need advice, ask for it. If you need support, don't be afraid to say so. Because the unspoken rule here is we're all just figuring this out together. And there's no shame in needing a little help along the way. So yeah, those are some of the unspoken rules of life that I've learned. And honestly, I'm still learning. And the thing is, no one's going to sit you down and teach you this stuff. You just kind of pick it up as you go. Through experience, through mistakes, through watching other people. But hopefully this gives you a little head start, or at least makes you feel less alone in trying to figure it all out. Because life is messy. It's complicated. It's unfair. But it's also kind of beautiful when you stop trying to control everything and just learn the rhythm of it. So what about you? What's an unspoken rule you've learned that changed the way you see things? I'd love to hear it. And if this resonated with you, go ahead and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.